What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about KTA USD, Keeta the Cheetah today. It is the 25th day of January, and here we are at about 31.4 cents with 8 hours and 30 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. And let's get on with our bad selves, all right? Let's do this thing. So here we are. Surprise, surprise, I know. Finding resistance here, exactly where we found resistance before and before. We even found some support right here once upon a time, a somewhat significant level. When we do break through this level, I assume we're going to see a rapid expansion. We're probably going to see some serious growth. For a while, I was assuming that we would just move right up to 40 cents from here. But the fact that we're getting tied up now, I think it's actually a good thing, you guys, because we're going to load up. When we break out, we're probably not going to stop at 40 cents. Or, I mean, maybe if we do, it'll be a very short-lived amount of time. But likely, we're going to see some expansion up to this level and maybe even through there. You know, you take an overall high. Should we take the all-time high? Let's take this high because I feel like this is the high that really began this down move. High to low here. The golden ratio is right there, just above where this high is here. So that high right there is coming in at about 62 cents. The golden ratio is at 68 cents. I mean, to me, the only places that seem logical to make sense to find resistance at are basically 40 cents, 62 cents, and then 68 to 79 cents. 40 cents made sense from down here to go up here, find resistance, and then cool off, whatever. But we're already cooling off right now. I don't think we're going to break this range and just stop right here. Or if we do, it'll be very short-lived, and then we continue to rally, so it doesn't matter anyways. To me, 40 cents just doesn't seem that significant to pay attention to. I think the most significant levels to pay attention to are probably somewhere between like 60 and 80 cents. That's my belief. Looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, zooming in a little bit, you can see that yesterday whenever I made the call that we would probably dump, well, we did dump. We just didn't go as low as I thought that we'd go. The expectation remains that we go down to about 27 cents or lower, and we'll get into that in a second. But what we did attempt to do was move back higher, and we failed, and we've come back down. I want to look at this on Coinbase, where there's some volume, so that we can accurately read this here, decipher this. Yeah, this was my first indication that we were going to sell off, was that as we moved up, there was less volume. And then we had a spike. We had growth in volume, technically, but the price didn't grow. The price moved up all this way with very minimal volume, but then we actually get a solid spike in volume and we didn't go anywhere while we had a tweezer top. It just made total sense that we'd find resistance here. And to boot, we're at the same areas we found resistance the last 3 times and support before. It makes so much sense. It's so obvious. And whenever it's obvious, you got to go with it, man. 1 hour time frame, some bearish divergence even. The RSI was overbought. We're in an uptrend. We're breaking out of it, right? Stochastics are bearish. The MACD right now is bullish, but you're postured in a bearish way, I would even say. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we cross below the 0 here. We'll see. Where we found support here was nice for a second, but there's not really any relative areas of significance that would dictate this as support. Prior resistance here, maybe. We found some support, but again, as we're trying to push higher here, if volume came in as we were trying to push higher, I would have bought back in up here. But the fact that volume's dying off as we're pushing higher, it only further substantiates my claims that we're going to go lower. We're probably going to go lower. And this is just a pit stop on a path that will take us lower inevitably. And I really do believe that we will see 27 cents and below, primarily because from a low to a high here on the Fibonacci retracement, 26.8 cents is where your golden ratio is. So that's where I think you're going to go. You're probably going to bounce off this golden ratio, run up and find resistance at the larger golden ratio all the way up there at like 60 cents, 68 cents. I think it was 68 to 79 cents actually. But here, going from the 236 to the 069, how many times, you guys, it's been like a week and a half. This is like the 4th time or the 5th time in a week and a half that we've seen this setup where coins go from their 236 to their 069 and then down, or sometimes they go from their 236 to their 069 and then up, depending on what direction the fibs are pointed. But this kind of relationship here, we've seen it happen plenty of times. Likely from here we will go to the golden ratio. Typically what happens is you just make one fell swoop move down to the golden ratio. Or, at the very best, you might find some support here, some resistance, and kind of stair-step your way down. But still, in this situation, typically you do expect to go to the golden ratio. And that's what I'm expecting. 26.8 to 26.01 cents, somewhere in there. We will effectively fill this gap and any other gaps that we leave behind It makes sense to me, man. And the 1 hour time frames look bearish. I don't think that we're ready to move up. I mean, we're ready to move up. Any day now, any week now, we're going to be moving up. But I just think right here we need a little bit of a pullback. We pumped 53% in just a couple days' time, 4 days' time. We're going to consolidate a little bit and then continue to rally. 4 hour time frame looking at this here. Rejecting the overbought zone, right? Trying to get higher highs, trying to push through, and you're getting less volume, and you're rejecting the overbought zone after getting in there. We did the same thing back here. It's literally on the 1 hour, you see the same setup price action wise as you do here on the 4 hour price action wise, but the readings are the same. You got overbought, you got overbought, you rejected your overbought zone, you rejected your overbought zone, lower high, and then you came down. I'm going to be very surprised, but not surprised at all whenever this is at the golden ratio. Let's see. Okay, it wasn't the golden ratio. You went down to the 786. But if you bought at the golden ratio, you're probably not upset right now. You know what I mean? Maybe we do go through the golden ratio. Maybe we hit the 786 on this retracement here. I don't know, but I don't expect that to happen. Nonetheless, I do expect that we pull back a little bit. What does the overall low to this high tell us? Golden ratio is at 24.8 cents with that. I mean, maybe we go that low. Maybe. I was taking the golden ratio off of this low to high. I felt like that made more sense, but if we went down to 24.8 cents where the golden ratio is here, that's right at the 786 here, which again, that's exactly what you did whenever you found resistance here, was you went right down to your well, now it's the golden ratio. Now I'm confused. I thought we went down to the 786. Didn't I just draw this? Weren't we just at the 786? I'm so confused. Am I looking at this wrong? Let me look at this on a different chart maybe. Low to high. I swear I just took this fib and it took us right to the 786, didn't it? I must have had it drawn. I must have had this on like a different low or something. That's what it was. It was on this low, not this low. 786. Okay. Either way, 786 golden ratio, either way it works. So something between, let's say 25 cents, 24.9 cents to 27 cents is the likely outcome. I'm in favor of something that's closer to 27 cents personally, but we can go lower. It's fine. It's not a problem. We look at the 4 hour time frame, we look at the RSI, that rejection there is bearish. It has bearish implications, as do the stochastics. The MACD is bullish overall, but you can do some bearish stuff and then still prevail bullish. You know what I mean? We can come down and then still prevail bullish, still get a higher low, and that's all I'm calling for. Daily time frame, looking at this here. The RSI, we were excited. We thought we were going to get overbought. That's why from down here, assuming that we were going to get overbought, we were assuming there'd be a breakout here, but you found resistance. You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing here that you're doing here, that we're doing here, right? Like this. So this, you got overbought, then you rejected the overbought zone. This is one instance here. You got overbought and then you rejected the overbought zone. And this is the other instance. We just haven't moved down yet. But if you look at the daily time frame, both of these instances together are themselves one instance, because we got overbought here and now we're rejecting the overbought zone. I hope that doesn't mean that we go down. Right? I hope that's not what that means. I don't think it's what that means personally. We do have a little bit of bearish divergence on the RSI, on the stochastics, and on the MACD. Coming down from here, cooling that off, validating that bearish divergence, providing a higher low, and then moving up higher, that is not problematic. That's good structure, you guys. But we do need to hold, I think, 24.9 cents at the lowest. We need to hold that as support, okay? 27 cents or lower, probably below 27 cents is what my expectation is. I still believe that we have this overall rounded bottom. It's very nice structure. I just can't draw. I can't draw to save my life. I'm going to try to be smooth here one more time. Nope, it didn't really work. It's close. Maybe if I move it like this, yeah, there we go. Hey, it's a little bit better. Very nice rounded bottom structure. I am expecting a significant move to come from this. A significant move higher that will produce prices that are around 68 to 79 cents. And then we will consolidate again and get set up to move to new all-time highs altogether. I do believe, and the way that I have it drawn here, it's like a two-step process. I don't know if it'll be a two-step process. I don't know if we're just going to consolidate, breakout, consolidate, breakout. I don't know if it's that simple. It might be. But I do expect that we will see new all-time highs. I'm expecting that we'll see new all-time highs sometime between the end of Q1 and maybe the first half of Q2, sometime in there. That we would see something at about $3.14 to $6.90 come March or maybe April. That's my expectation. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.